Hi, welcome to Bouldersaurus. In this episode, I will be climbing on the new set on the 45-degree wall. This set was particularly challenging for me, and as a result, today's video will be a bit shorter than usual. But no worries, I have 6 awesome climbs to share, and I hope you enjoy watching. Let's get climbing. This first climb features 2 feature holds known as Wacos. I'm always excited to climb on these holds because of their unique shape, and then I remember how challenging they are to hold on to. This climb starts by bumping the left hand 3 times up a series of pinches. Once high enough, you can heel hook the first Volcano hold and move into the second one, which is much more slopey. I have to switch to a toe hook here in order not to lose my feet when moving between these small crimps. Once I get this jug in the middle, the rest of the climb is quite a bit more straightforward. The holds are okay, but at this 45-degree angle, still pose quite the challenge for the end of this climb. You can see here by my body how steep this wall actually is. This climb was featured in this week's episode of Boulder Bites. It's not the hardest climb on the set, but I think it's the coolest. The climb is made up of these block holds which have little jibs screwed onto them. The setter was very generous with the amount of jibs used, so it makes this climb feel like it wants to be sent. You'll notice my use of heel hooks in this problem. My hips are flexible, so I can really use them to keep myself close to the wall. While this problem isn't very hard, if you cut feet at any point, you're almost guaranteed to slip off. The crux of this climb is the precarious transition back left to the finish hold. This white V8 is a good example of a climb with a very defined crux. To review, the crux of a boulder problem is the hardest move. Some climbs, especially in a gym, might not have a well-defined crux and the climb is consistently hard throughout, but this one has a move that just shuts me down. The handholds on this climb are challenging to use, but the generous footholds make up for it. The moves at the start are challenging, but well within my ability. It's not until I get this cross move here that I start having trouble. The move requires transitioning from one angle of the wall to another, and it's very hard to control your momentum here. You'll notice that on each attempt I do, it doesn't matter if I grab the next hold, my body is already swinging off the wall. This would be okay if the hold I was going to was easy to hold onto, but it's a small pinch hold that requires a lot of control to grab. I didn't get this climb yet, so here's something to make it up to you. Anyway, onto this questionably named V7 that went up on the second day of the reset. This is the sort of climb I like. It's technical, has interesting movement, and all of that is done on tiny little crimps. The wall may look vertical here, but it's 20 degrees overhanging. The climb starts with some shouldery moves into a cross, which leads into the crux. The body position is really awkward here because moving out to the next crimp forces your hips to rotate away from the wall. I tried doing this move dynamically to start, but I found the slower I went, the easier it was to control my body. The next move to the undercling requires a lot of tension and, well, you can see what happens next.
Oh no, my elbow!
My poor pelbo. Anyway, here's the send of the climb, with a view where you can get a sense of the steepness of the wall. I think 20 degrees is an angle of steepness I do really well on. After getting the undercling, the move up to the next hold requires you to really pull hard on that undercling to keep from swinging out. I took a moment to make sure I didn't do anything dumb here, and that led into a few easy moves on little holds to finish up this climb. Wow, look at how cool I think I am. This climb looks so much easier than it is. It has some of the biggest footholds on any climb in the gym, but the handholds are not good, especially on this angle. The moves are straightforward, but there are a lot of them, and they're on pretty difficult crimps. Here's a close-up of the hold, and for those of you who climb, you can recognize I try to use an open hand crimp as much as possible, and a half crimp when I need to. It's worth your while to train this grip as, even though it's a weaker crimp, you're mitigating a potential finger injury while using it. It also forces you to use your technique, as you won't be pulling as hard on holds. This climb was a great way to practice using an open hand grip, especially on an overhang. This climb was awesome because it had a wide range of holds and techniques used in it. Slopers, pinches, crimps, you name it, it's in this climb. This climb is on the 30-degree overhang, so it's quite steep despite how it looks in the video. The start of this climb requires a lot of body tension to stay on these slopers. I saw a lot of climbers struggle with this section. The undercling and sloper on the volume was a nice rest before the technical crux move into a slotted crimp. If you're not accurate, you'll miss the good part of the hold and it's easy to fall off. It's not done though, as a pumpy transition to the right is required to finish this climb. Before we wrap up this video, I would like to present to you CRG Warwick's assistant manager, Margo.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up!
Thanks, Margo. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.